Welcome, faculty, to part 2 of 2, How to Teach Class Using Megameeting. Now, you've already viewed part 1 and seen that we can do presentations with PowerPoints and using our Word documents, opening up our law library and letting students follow our train of thought as we research a subject. And there's other tutorials here on YouTube showing you a much more expansive perspective of that. By example, you can go look at the marketing material on how does the Diamond program work on a day-to-day class basis. We're still showing my desktop, and I just want to point out some features, some practical aspects of your daily teaching life. Now, if you had 20 to 30 students here in the classroom right now, under roster on your left-hand side of the screen, all the names would appear. If you were using webcams at the moment, they're off because I'm using Show My Desktop. But if I go ahead and click Close on the right-hand corner of my screen, then I'll stop showing my desktop, and my screen will go back to normal, as will the student's screen. Now, if I was still showing my desktop, I need to make sure that my lock button is on so the students can hear me. They're pretty much going to let me know that they can't hear me by chanting frantically into this chat box, like, "I can't hear you." Well, if they've chatted that in there, and I see that my red line is going up and down, probably that means that they don't have their speakers turned on. If they do have their speakers turned on, then it's a technical issue on their side, dealing with the transmission. And if it's reoccurring, then what they need to do is go to www.megameeting.com and work with the Megameeting technicians on figuring it out. So if the student wants to speak as opposed to just to listen, then they're going to need to hit the transmit button. So the student will hold down their transmit button, and as they hold it down, they'll see their own red line start to move up and down. When they stop holding it down, they won't see it anymore. If a student locks their transmit button, then chances are it'll pick up their secretary talking or clients on the telephone while they listen to class, and everybody else in the classroom will also get to hear it, and it will probably be recorded. So remind them not to do that by simply typing into the chat box or audibly saying, by example, "Hey, John Smith, you should probably take your lock button off and just use your hold to transmit." Now, when I'm doing an actual presentation, let's say that I have some materials live on the, by example, let's say that I'm showing the students the calendar, and I have my online lectures. I'm saying, hey, listen, on the February 8th, we're giving an online lecture, and then on the 22nd, on Friday, I want everyone to be aware of that. Now, you've already seen in your twin tutorials that you can set your calendar up to automatically email the students. By example, you can click on this, or you can add a new event, or you can click on this, edit it, and make sure that it automatically emails the students. Or like I like to do also is I just go to my email options and I click on all course participants. That of course gets faculty also. Or I can click on my student names and so forth, and then send them a generate email. Hey, class is tomorrow at 9 o'clock, or class is in 1 hour at 9 o'clock, what have you. But let's say the students are chatting with me responses to my lecture, and I tell them, hey, don't interrupt me audibly until I tell you to. And I still want to see what the students are doing from a chat box perspective. No end to be. My desktop function is on right now. They'll see the screen versa, so I will, as I want. So I might have my screen. I may make my chat box small and putting it somewhere else. Or I might make my chat box larger. And doing my PowerPoint using my mouse cursor and grow. Now I can see the students. I simply control it, or I make my chat box smaller. In the chat box, of course, also they see the presentation and they see all the windows. Let's look at the tax case, the tax treaty case on this particular aspect of the say, well, here I have the statute to pull up using my chalk button features. I can go ahead and focus in on something like that. And or pull open files for having a file open like presentation. Go ahead and open another file right here on the screen in front of the students. And of course, I can go back to my video meeting screen. Now, while I'm teaching, I like to keep it active by having at least a presentation ready, as well as a secondary feature like a database. Maybe I'm using Checkpoint, maybe I'm using Lexis, or of course Westlaw itself. I'll generally speaking have the classroom open so that I can quickly refer to it and go to student information about the syllabus or something that was said in class, and then I can just go to the class discussion itself and say, okay, well, let's see what was said in class and let's pick up from it. Well, that ends our tutorial on how to give a presentation with MegaMeeting. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and if you have any other questions on presentations, go to www.megameeting.com and go ahead and fill in and do a live training for an hour. Thank you kindly.